Old men cannot be manipulated by young girls. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys believe that. Because the truth of the matter is, they should never be dating these women or these girls to begin with.
Okay. You got me there. But that is not a crime.
We've all seen it. We've all heard it. Gold diggers. Are gold diggers real? To me, I look at gold diggers kind of like the Loch Ness Monster or the Yeti. I've never seen a gold digger in real life. I've never seen a gold digger in the wild. I don't think gold diggers actually exist. I see a lot of age gap relationships out there, and my eyebrows are definitely raised in specific instances. Pretty much in all of them, depending on the age of the woman or the man. If the woman is in her teens or early 20s and the man is in his 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s plus, then yeah, my eyebrows are raised. I don't really mind if somebody is in their 30s and they're dating somebody in their 50s or 60s. That's, that person is fully grown at that point. It is what it is. But definitely when I see really young women, specifically in relationships with really old men, yeah, I think that they're in a, by default, abusive relationship because the man has all the power financially, more than likely. And also it's a man because in most cases, men are abusive to women, removing the age and removing the money. Even when she makes more money, the man tends to be abusive. So let alone that man actually makes more money than her, I'm pretty sure it's going to be an abusive relationship for the woman. With that being said, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around the idea of a gold digger because what is a gold digger? A gold digger is a woman who manipulates a man for the purpose of, gaining access to his money or his resources or whatever the case may be. But the part that people leave out is the gold digger, in theory, shouldn't be giving anything up in return. That's the way, to me, a gold digger works. If a gold digger is a real thing, then it is pretty much a situation where a man thinks a woman loves him, adores him, and is only with him, and whatever the case may be. And he wants to give, and because of this, he is giving her money or financing her lifestyle or giving her access to things or whatever the case may be. But in return, he is getting absolutely nothing. He's getting absolutely nothing, maybe her attention sometimes, but if he is getting her body, meaning sex, if he is getting her labor, meaning taking care of the home and taking care of him, if he is getting children, if he is getting anything of the sort, at that point, I don't see how that woman can be considered a gold digger. I don't, because she has sacrificed. And by default, once she sacrificed, and also, by the way, she has sacrificed more than him, how is she a gold digger at that point? It doesn't make any sense to me. I have never understood this. I've never really taken any stock in really believing this was true in my adult years. I would say probably after the age of 30, I thought the whole concept of a gold digger was dumb. It never tracked. I woke up one day and I realized I never actually have met a woman that was actually, that was the case. So that is a really important aspect about this, is that if a woman is giving up something or sacrificing something, then how can she be considered a gold digger? Then when you look at it from the perspective of the man, does he not know exactly what's going on? Does he not know exactly what he's getting out of this situation? My answer is, of course he does. Of course he knows exactly what he's getting. Those men who are 50, 60 years old, they got the money, they got the resources so they can go back and get the younger girls. Because think about it. If in most cases, those men never had access to those women, even when they were those women's age. So they know that the only reason they have access to those women now is because of their resources. I'm saying this, they already are clocking this. So I don't understand where the manipulation is taking place. The man is going into it knowing, oh, she's with me for my money, or that's a big part of the reason she's with me. The reality that I'm able, or the fact that I'm able to provide a certain lifestyle for her. That's the reason why she's with me. So right there, Once you realize that, then how can she be a gold digger? So that brings me to this. This is an example of why I don't think that gold digging is a real thing. I have to look no further than one Bill Belichick and his new girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. Now, recently, Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick appeared on a CBS interview where they were interviewing Bill Belichick about his life and about his new book. And Jordan Hudson was allegedly all over the interview. Like, she was there. The interview was only about 8 minutes, and she's only in it at the end. But the reporter said that she was there pretty much the whole interview. So that got me to really looking up their relationship and when it started and all of this stuff, right? Now, allegedly, they met, according to Bill and her, they met on an airplane. They just randomly got seated next to each other and, they hit it off. Now, I don't believe that to be true. I don't. But that's how it allegedly happened. But with all that being said, Bill Belichick is a 70-plus-year-old man, right? This woman is now 24 years old, and they met a few years ago. So she was in her real early 20s when they met. He was in his 70s when they met. There is no way for you to convince me that this man at any point in time in this interaction with this young woman thought to himself, oh, she just loves me for me. She likes me because I'm cute, because I'm funny, no. There's no way he believed that. There's absolutely no way he believes that.
Things. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on, though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different sort of photos. There's another one where you're doing,
Why would that question stump him? I have no idea. But yeah, what has it been like? What has the reactions been like, sir?
You're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates. You're balancing Jordan on your feet, and she's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
He doesn't know these pictures are posted because he's not on there, and she's posting the pictures. He literally doesn't know that any of this is happening, like a typical grandpa. Like he has no idea what's going on online.
What he does follow isn't clicks or views, but touchdowns and, above all, wins.
You do seem like you're having a lot more fun these days than you were in other chapters of your life, let's say.
I enjoy football. I enjoy the whole process of it.
You can see that they don't really want to open up about where they met and all of that stuff. My guess is they met on a website, and it wasn't Tinder and it wasn't Bumble. My guess is they met on a website for sugar babies and sugar daddies. That's my guess. And that's why they don't want to open up about where they met. Now, if that is the case, if I'm right, if my hunch is correct, then that would mean that this man knew exactly what type of time she was on. You meet on a website called sugarbabies.com or whatever it is, you know what those women are after. How can they be gold diggers at that point? That is not a gold digger implies a nefarious, it implies that a person is acting in a nefarious way. If a person tells you the only reason I'm with you is for your money, that's not nefarious. If you go, okay, yeah, I mean, I don't care. I'm good with it as long as I'm with you. Sounds like a freaking even exchange at that point. So I don't think for 1 second that Hudson is a gold digger, but I think that a lot of men specifically think that they look at that relationship, and if and when it blows up in Bill Belichick's face, which it almost certainly will, men are going to say, oh, she was just in it for the money, whatever. After after she gets pregnant with this child, hopefully she doesn't, but if she does, after she gets pregnant with this child, because they're engaged to be married, and they get married, and she gets $10 million or $15 million after he cheats, or after, irreconcilable differences, or he becomes abusive because he's abandoning her, or where he's neglecting, whatever the case may be, when this relationship dissolves, remember this moment. The men will say she was in it for the money this whole time. She's a gold digger, yada, yada, yada. Never, ever, ever putting any blame on this 70-plus-year-old man who willingly and knowingly got in a relationship with a woman who he knew didn't really like him for his sparkling personality. There's no chance in hell that this man doesn't know exactly what type of time this woman is on. Now, the reason why all of this happens, the reason why men are willingly signing up for these types of relationships, the reason I honestly believe that men are signing up for these relationships, and I know a lot of you guys think it's sexual, and I'm talking about with men the age of Bill Belichick. I'm not saying Bill Belichick still can't have sex. That's not what I'm saying. But Bill Belichick physically is probably capable of having sex once every 2 weeks, maybe every week. If we're lucky, maybe every week. It's not like he has a robust sex life. Let's be real. And she's in her 20s, so she can hunch all day long. That's not what it is. The driving factor behind all of this is validation. That's where it comes from.
Football is everything for Belichick. His father, Steve, a beloved assistant at Navy for more than 3 decades, made sure of that.
I was an only child. I followed my dad around. If he had been a fireman, I'd probably been a fireman. He was a football coach, and so I hung around him, and I did whatever he did.
But what did you love about that? Because plenty of sons run in the other direction.
Yeah, I think a big part of it was the respect and adoration that they had for him. It seemed very rewarding.
When young
So Bill just said the quiet part out loud. And I know this isn't directly connected to his girlfriend or his fiance now, but listen to what he said. He said that the reason why he became a coach, or the reason why he was drawn to being a coach, was the respect and admiration that coaches received, right? Like many men, we look for external validation, specifically from other men. Bill Belichick is no different. He just openly admitted to wanting that validation. So much so that he was willing to pick a career just so he can have that, just so he can get to that place where everybody adored him and loved him. So what makes you think for 1 second that that's not what he's thinking when it comes to dating a 20-something-year-old woman? What, for 1 second, stop and think about it. You think that has ever gone away? You think that he's not interested in getting the respect from men? Of course he is. And the older he gets, the more respect he wants now. He doesn't want that respect to die because he's not getting it as much anymore from being a coach of the New England Patriots, where he won a ton of Super Bowls and a ton of big games. Now he's a coach of a D1 college, North Carolina, but that doesn't come with the same level of admiration from men. It doesn't. So to supplement that, I believe he went out and got him a sugar baby. He went out and got him a very young woman, an attractive woman, to tote around, to carry her around and show her off like a trophy wife. That's what he got. I personally have seen clips of this young woman who is front and center now. First, their relationship was very much private, but now it's not. Now it's not. This is her helping Bill Belichick at the football game. That's Bill right there in the dark blue jacket. That outfit she got on is bad to the bone. I ain't gonna even lie. That's a cold ass color scheme. She looking like a model on the runway. And that's what she's doing right now. She's putting herself front and center, right? I don't have any problem with it. Again, he knows what he signed up for. He's getting exactly what he wants. If she, in the meantime, is protecting herself and making sure that if anything happens, she has a cushy, situation to fall back on, so be it. I don't mind whatsoever. I totally understand. And this is the last thing I want to share with you guys. This is exactly why I don't believe for 1 second that any of this is by chance or anything like that. So Jordan Hudson, Bill Belichick's ex-boyfriend, Jordan Hudson, 64-year-old ex, defends her amid Belichick romance. So that's her with this 64-year-old man. Bill Belichick is 9 years older than this guy. Jordan Hudson, 64-year-old former lover, is racing to her defense, blasting haters who have accused her of being a gold digger for a romance with Bill Belichick, while praising her as wise beyond her years. Joshua L. Zuckerman, a businessman, tells TMZ Sports he met Hudson several years ago. That's crazy because several years ago, she was a teenager. And after bonding over psychology, philosophy, and nature, they became romantic. The two were off and on for a while, but ceased their dating relationship just prior to Hudson coupling up with Bill Belichick. He still remained friendly with the 23-year-old cheerleader through her time with the future Hall of Famer. And he said in a statement to us this week that he's been appalled by some of the negative things that, that have been said about his ex online. I've been getting calls left and right from news stations about my relationship with Jordan Hudson, he said. I've been involved with Jordan platonically and romantically, and I consider her a good friend. I feel bad that she's caught up in this whirlwind. Now, the reason why I think this is interesting and the reason why I believe 100% for a fact that Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick know exactly what's going on and why I think that it is reckless to call her a gold digger is because she has a track record of dating men that are 50 years her senior, 30 years her senior, 40 years her senior, whatever the case may be, right? Now, again, I don't believe that she really likes these men. I'm not going to even lie. I don't believe that she has like a thing for older men or whatever the case may be. I really don't. I'm not going to even hold you. But just because she doesn't genuinely like these men, for who they are, and she is with them for their resources, does not mean that she is a gold digger, because both of these men know exactly why she is with them. They know exactly why she's with them. Think about this. This could just be, right? Don't get me wrong. If you listen to his story, you don't know where they met, right? You really don't know. He could say they met wherever, but you really don't know where they met. And you don't know where Bill Belichick and her met. But like I said, my guess is they met on a website where rich old men find young hot women. That's my guess. They didn't meet on Bumble. They didn't meet on Tinder. I do not believe that. And I don't believe that a 24-year-old was just in the same space as a 64-year-old and they just sparked up a conversation about philosophy and psychology. Like, stop. This is intentional, clearly intentional. And considering the fact that this 64-year-old man is beyond grown and Bill Belichick is beyond grown, I have no doubt in my mind that either one of these men, I have no doubt in my mind that both of these men knows exactly what's going on. They both know. There is no way she can be gold digging. It is impossible. I don't know how you guys don't understand this. Anybody that's using that term to describe these types of women, it is virtually impossible for a woman to gold dig. And I'll leave you guys with this. The only way it's possible is if the man doesn't have his mental faculties. He is old beyond his, you know what I'm saying? He is so old, he can't make his own decisions. He's bedridden, something like that, right? Where he is completely vulnerable. But these able-bodied men of sound mind and able body, you're not going to convince me that they are being manipulated by some fucking 20-year-old woman, aka girl. Can we put this to rest? Same shit with Shannon Sharp. It's over, fellas. Old men cannot be manipulated by young girls. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys believe that. Because the truth of the matter is they should never be dating these women or these girls to begin with. Period. So whatever happens, it happens. I don't care. I won't for 1 second blame these women for anything that happens after this point, within reason. Of course, if they unalive the man or something like that, that's different. But I don't care if he loses half of his money. I don't care if he starts to become abusive and she sues him and takes $50 million. I don't care. These men know exactly what they're signing up for, and they are knowingly taking on these risks, and they think the juice is worth the squeeze. Period, point fucking blank. So at the end of the day, gold diggers don't exist. Sorry to tell you that. Sorry to break it to you.